So when you want to buy a car in Nigeria, I see that many people have been requesting for that. The first thing you want to check is it's always good to go with your mechanic to the car lot. Okay, a mechanic is supposed to know much better about cars than you, because you're not a mechanic. But you need to be careful of something. Those car dealers at the car lot, they are very smart. So if you come with a mechanic, they will corner the mechanic and promise him money from the money you will pay. So let's say you budgeted, let's say 12 million naira to buy a car. They will promise the mechanic, we're going to give you 100k if you've convinced the Oga to buy this car. Meanwhile, that car is not good, but the mechanic would convince you to buy it. Do you understand? So maybe the car has some issues, which I will point out. Number one, you want to look under the car and see whether there is rust. Do you understand? Is the car rusted underneath? If it rusted, it means that they shipped it from a country where the city is flooded. You know, all this Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane this will come into a city. It will flood the whole city for weeks. It's sometimes even months. Okay, flood the whole city, and then those people will abandon their cars and leave. When they come back later, they want to sell off the cars. Meanwhile, the rust has entered everywhere in the car. When they bring it to the country, they kind of revive it. But it means that you will be steady on repairs if you buy that car, because many things are rusted. It will be breaking every day. Every day, one part will break. You need to pull out the whole axle, change it. This one will break. You need to go under or weld it and weld. You know, you don't want to go through that. Then, secondly, when it comes to you want to check the acceleration. You drive the car down road. Try and speed. If you're a good driver, okay, try and see whether the car accelerates smoothly as you are matching the throttle. Is the car accelerating? If it's doing like this, there's a problem. It could be a gearbox issue, you know. It could be an issue with maybe servicing the engine and stuff, or it could be a gearbox. If it's gearbox issue, you're going to spend money on gearbox. Gearbox is just as costly as the engine. Very, very expensive. So, but the bottom line is, if you are trying to buy a car and the car has issues, don't buy it. The person should fix it complete before selling it to you. That you are buying a car second hand doesn't mean it should come with an issue. Something you think is a small issue might actually be a big issue. Like when they tell you, oh, the AC is not working, don't worry, you just need to refill gas. When you go to refill the gas, you see that a lot of things are damaged. It's not just about gas. So if you're buying a car, the AC must be working. The car, even though it's fairly used, it should be working perfectly. Then why not buy a brand new car? There's no advantage in buying a brand new car. Do you know that the moment you buy a brand new car from the lot, brand new, the moment you drive out of that lot, that car has lost 26% of its value. That same day, you can never sell it more than 80% of what you bought it. If you sold it that same day. You get what I'm saying? So unless you are rich, you want to buy a car to impress people that don't like you, fine, go and buy brand new. But if you are from an economic category where you're not that rich, you understand? Stop looking at brand new cars. Nobody ever cares whether your car is brand new or not. In fact, even if it's fairly used, they can use all this plastic to wrap the inside and make it look brand new. Then secondly, cars are in generations, okay? Generation lasts about 5 to 10 years, depending on the car brand. So any car that appears within these 5 to 10 years is essentially the same. What they will change is maybe dashboard color, maybe side mirror, maybe bumper. They like to change bumper. So for instance, if you look at Toyota Corolla of 2008 and see Corolla of 2012, it's the same thing. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the same thing. The only thing that will change is the backlight, which you can buy a Corolla of 2008 and buy a backlight of 2012, something like that. But another one they do is Toyota Corolla 2014 and 2018. They are the same. So the only difference is the front bumper. Okay, so when you buy a 2014, which is way cheaper than that of 2018, and they can remove the front bumper and attach the bumper of 2018 for you. Maybe touch one or two things at the back. Boom, your car is now 2018. Meanwhile, it has saved you millions. Do you understand? The difference in millions could be so large that you will be amazed why people even buy the older one, latest one. Okay? Sometimes there is a slight difference in the engine. You know, maybe the engine is now more economical with fuel, slightly. But if the cars fall into the same generation, they are the same thing. Do you notice today that people are converting Prado of 2006, 2007 to 2020. Do you understand? Because they will just remove the back, remove the front. In the inside, they do one or two things with like 1 or 2 million naira, and your car of 2007 is now 2020. But if you wanted to buy that of 2020 fresh, do you know how much you're going to spend? Times 5, times 10 of that Prado of 2008. You understand? Apart from fuel consumption that you need to Google, okay, how to Google it? You type the name of the car, Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, whatever, 2008 MPG. Some of those cars that are huge, they are so bad at fuel that their MPG is 13 miles per gallon. That is, if you pour 1 gallon of fuel inside the car, it can only drive 13 miles. Meanwhile, Toyota Corolla of 2008 is somewhere around 25 miles per gallon. It will drive 25 miles per 1 gallon, and then all those big SUVs will drive 13 miles. So if you are rich, that's when you buy SUV, because you know that the miles per gallon doesn't really matter. Do you understand? Fuel price is not your problem. You can afford it. But if you are concerned about the fuel price move from 700 naira to 800, if you are concerned, that's not the kind of car. Or if you want to buy a car you don't drive every day. Some people will have SUV, they only drive it for occasions, so that you can earn some respect. That car commands respect in Nigeria and some countries. So you can buy it, you pack it, you know that you drive it once in a while. All right. So another thing about generations is, you want, before you buy a car, you Google that year, you Google problems, or is dash reliable. So I can say, is Toyota Corolla 2012 reliable? That's how you type it on Google. You click and read. That 2-3 minutes it will take you to read can save you millions. Do you understand? You see what other people who have used the car have said about it. Some people will say, this is the best car in the world. I used it for 5 years, absolutely no problems apart from basic servicing, and I sold it the same amount I bought it. You get what I'm saying? Some cars will tell you, don't buy it, or if you buy it the next day, you are entering into a mechanic workshop and you will never come out again. Every time you drive it out, it will break down, you take it. There are cars like that. Every time you drive it out, they have big names. I don't want to call their names. There are SUVs that if you buy today, it has a big name. But every blessed day, 3 days in the week, you are in the mechanic. Mechanic is working on your car. Once they finish fixing one thing, boom, another thing will break. They start fixing, and each part is very expensive. Why? So many reasons, but one of the reasons that somebody was telling me the other day is that the weather we're in is hot climates, and these cars were built for colder climates. So the moment you ship it from Europe to a place like Nigeria or Kenya, you know, where the weather is a bit hotter, if you ship it down here, what you're going to notice is that as the car is parked outside, sun is hitting on it, some parts of it will be having issues. The way the metal will expand and contract inside, it will be having issues. Cars will start developing issues from nowhere. So you want to Google that particular year. Before you finally make payments, Google, is it reliable? Then you Google most reliable year for, you type the name of the car. For instance, most reliable year for Toyota Corolla. You will see. Most reliable year for Toyota Camry. You see. All right. So that's what you are going to check before you even listen to anybody. So now you know now you are armed with information, the year, the most reliable year that will not take you to mechanic so many times in the year. The car with the lowest miles per gallon. Okay, now you know the car you are looking for. When you now see the car, you will now do what we call physical inspection to know whether that particular piece of car they want to sell to you is okay. That car is okay, but you are sure that that's the year you are looking for. If you don't know the year you are looking for, if you land at the car lot, they're going to confuse you. They will tell you, go buy this one now. This one, oh, this is very nice car. They will like it. This car is very nice. You know, come and enter. You enter, they put AC, they drive it around. When you get home, you realize that the car consumes so much fuel. Even though it's working perfectly, it will be too expensive for you to maintain. Some cars have expensive to maintain parts. You know, anything you touch in the car in the name of going to mechanic is costing lots of money. There are cars like that. So you need to know your budget, how much you plan to spend on a car within the year, so you know the car that will match that budget.